For years, Katt Williams has spoken about the darker side of Hollywood. But when Theo Von asks whether people can actually be pressured to compromise themselves for success, Katt's answer takes the conversation somewhere much deeper into power, temptation, influence, and the choices people make when nobody is watching.
How powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him. Bitches in good business, right? And then he offered me two actresses like they was playing cards.
Right. Damn, bro. Nobody could trust anybody.
And then Katt stops speaking in general terms. He brings up Harvey Weinstein and describes an encounter that, according to Katt, completely changed the way he viewed power in Hollywood. What stood out to him wasn't simply one person's behavior, but the level of influence he believed Weinstein appeared to have. For Katt, this was the moment when the conversation stopped feeling like Hollywood gossip and started feeling much more personal.
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. That he get whatever he want. You follow what I'm saying?
That they'll figure out some way.
Right, so I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing, but...
This is where the conversation becomes personal. Katt describes an alleged offer that caught him completely off guard, because in his telling, it wasn't simply about business anymore. The situation forced him to confront a very different kind of pressure, where opportunity and personal principles could suddenly collide. And that is what makes this part of the story so significant. Katt isn't just talking about what other people might do. He's talking about a situation he says he personally experienced.
Bitches in good business, right? And then he offered me two actresses like they was playing cards. And I was like, what?
Like he just jilted her. Like,
he was like, I know you.
Damn.
Right, like, what?
Some aces.
No, my personal aces.
But Katt says he doesn't make that kind of decision based on fear, pressure, or the temptation of what he might gain. Instead, he describes a much simpler way of looking at difficult moments. He imagines that he's watching his own story from the outside, almost like a movie, and then asks himself one question. If this were a story about a hero facing the ultimate test, what would that hero do next? For Katt, that question becomes a way of separating temptation from principle.
Look, I'm not... In these scary situations, I don't even leave it up to me. Like, I'm gonna do what the superhero would do in this part of the movie, regardless, and deal with what happens after, yeah.
For Katt, the story goes far beyond one Hollywood encounter. He connects the experience to a much larger idea. What happens when someone is offered everything they could possibly want, but accepting it means giving up something deeper? Money, success, fame, access, and influence can all look attractive in the moment. But Katt's point is that none of those things should automatically be worth sacrificing the principles that define who you are.
Yeah, because I'm saying, I read about Jesus getting to the mountaintop and the devil saying you can have all of this, and him saying you don't have anything to offer me. Like, you know what I mean? So That's what I got to look up to. So I'm gonna follow suit in the best version I can, regardless of anything else.
And that's an important distinction. Katt isn't saying Hollywood invented this behavior, or that these pressures exist only in entertainment. His argument is much broader. Whenever people compete for influence, status, money, or control, there can be opportunities for power to be abused and for people to be tempted into compromises. In that sense, Katt sees what happens in Hollywood as part of a much larger pattern that can appear across politics, religion, business, and almost any other field.
it starts as human nature.
Right.
Like I'm saying, these things that I'm saying in Hollywood exist in religious circles, in politics, in the medical profession, and
In any circle of business, really.
yeah.
Katt then moves from individual behavior to something even bigger: institutions and the people who challenge them. His argument is that when someone reveals information that powerful people don't want exposed, that person can potentially become a target. Whether the issue is entertainment, politics, business, or another powerful institution, Katt suggests that challenging established interests can come with consequences. And that's where his argument shifts from personal experience to a broader observation about power itself.
I think everything is controlled and regulated.
You think there's ever ways where we can get to the control room and see who's controlling, or you think that's all?
We're past that. But we don't protect the whistleblower, right? We don't honor the scout that would tell us who it is. Matter of fact, when they get him, we're gonna go, I could have told you that was gonna happen. They're telling too much truth.
And this leads to Katt's bigger prediction. He believes people are becoming increasingly hungry for what they believe is the truth, especially when they feel that the official version of a story doesn't explain everything. At the same time, he suggests that audiences are becoming less willing to accept comfortable narratives simply because they're easier to believe. For Katt, that growing curiosity could eventually force people to look more closely at the systems and individuals they once trusted without question.
Age of truth is not 1 year. It's the beginning of people having more of a thirst for what is true than an appetite for lies. So if you sell lies, it's a harder road for you. If you have truths to tell, people are hungry for that, and they'll pay you handsomely to hear the truth.
When the conversation turns toward investigations, Katt offers a much more straightforward way of looking at how complicated cases can develop. Rather than treating everything as one isolated event, he describes a process of connecting witnesses, evidence, statements, and people who may already be connected to the wider system. One piece of information can lead to another, and eventually those connections can reveal a much larger picture. For Katt, that's how seemingly separate details can begin to form a complete story.
Do you think that's at all possible?
That's how all cases are handled. Right? So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's car theft and we're going to accuse you of having a carjacking ring, right? We're going to begin by bringing in people that we caught who were robbing cars, who said that you was the boss. They're first in line. And then we're going to bring in victims, the people whose cars you stole and said, yeah, that was him. That's how they build a case. So, none of that should be shocking.
And that may be the deeper point behind everything Katt is saying. His argument isn't simply about Hollywood, celebrities, or one controversial encounter. It's about what happens to people when they are forced to choose between power and principle, between the opportunity to gain something and the possibility of losing a part of themselves in the process. Because according to Katt, the real test isn't what you're offered. The real test is what you're willing to give up to get it.
Everybody is a reflection of what they gotta go through to get to where they at, right? And I just know that the people that have been in positions where they decided to do some stuff that they said they weren't gonna do, they don't be the same on the other side. Nothing they can do can make them seem like what you remember them as.
Have you ever
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But, right.
Damn, bro. Nobody could trust anybody. That's the scary part to me sometimes.
The Bible said, do not put your trust in men. It's pretty specific.